Alright friends, I'm tempted to say that I'm in the middle of nowhere, but definitely that is not the case. Oljororok police station is just 10 meters right behind me. But my destination for today is some 24 kilometers away. It is in Nakuru County. Google Maps tells me I have some 35 minutes to get there. So let's get to Dondori Town, shall we? So let me give you a little background story of why Dondori Town is our destination for today. So it happened that 2 months ago I was around this place. And to be honest, it was my first time here. As I was wandering around the highlands, I came across this beautiful small town. I tell you, it was one of a kind, highly developed, beautiful, and very busy. So I did the video, posted, and I came to learn the small town's name is Dondori. Of course, the beautiful town is some few minutes ahead, but I'll not be showing you. The video is already on this channel, so you can go and check it later. Actually, I described it as the most beautiful town that I've ever visited. But after posting the video, old-timers and patriots told me, no, Mr. Lone Traveler, that is not the real Dondori. The true Dondori is in Nakuru County. And you should go back and show us the real town. Of course, I did my background check and found that the two towns are somehow 10 kilometers away from each other. And there has been a historical problem in naming them. Both goes by the name Dondori, but recently, the first town that I visited, that is Dondori, has been renamed to Mirangine. That is, of course, to address the confusion. And so today being on a Sunday, I said, why not? Let me do the Lord's work. And today being on a Sabbath and rolling in such a beautiful place, I'm tempted to quote some verses in the Holy Book. And the first one is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 8. And it says, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, Here I am, send me." So let's meet in Dondori Town in a few seconds. Actually, after negotiating this corner, you'll see the town. So as usual, I'll be taking you around the small town. I'll also be giving you some details about this beautiful place. We will go super hard on the statistics. And today being the first day in Nakuru County, expect more of this county as far as the numbers are concerned. So things like the economic performance of the county, birth rates, poverty rates, religion distribution. Actually, the number of atheists in this county is staggering. Of course, I'll be telling you more about that and others. So stay tuned as we go around this cold town until the end. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. Well, the town is quite busy. I can see everyone is going about their business. And it seems like food production is a thing here. All these lorries ferries fresh produce to the market. There is also a junction right ahead on my left. You can see the small blue car coming from that direction. So the road goes all the way to Kalau Town. It is some 22 kilometers from here. I'm just trying to make sure you get acquainted with the area's geography. Of course, that's why I came. Well, the road ahead goes all the way to Nakuru City. It is some 15 kilometers from here. It is the capital of the region. Remember, we are in Nakuru County. But Nyandarua County is not far from here. Remember, the boundary between the two counties is somewhere around this town. But the biggest part of the town is in Nakuru County. You know, I've been accused by some of you of being biased toward Nyandarua County. Even some goes to an extent of believing that I come from that county. And all this is because you have showcased almost every part of that county. Every small town, every village, big towns, we've been there. Of course, I was drawn by the beauty of the place. That county is super beautiful. But now it's time to move to other counties. So I want to turn around. I want to go back to town so we can see what it has to offer. There's a beautiful petrol station here. It seems like businesses are doing quite well. So Dondori is just a small town of 4,584 people. There are 1,393 households in town, meaning that on average, each family has 3 people. So the town does not cover a big area, as you can see. There's only 2.8 kilometers squared. In terms of the population density, there are 1,612 people living in a square kilometer right here in Dondori Town. In terms of the gender distribution, of course, women has a slight majority, and they are numbered at 2,343, which is 51.1% of the aggregate population. They are followed by their male counterpart at 2,241, which is 48.9% of the total population. The fact that the town is in Nakuru County means that this is a melting pot of various tribes that lives in Kenya. Nakuru is known as one of the most diverse counties in this country. But having said that, the majority of people living here in Dondori are Kikuyus. And Dondori happened to be one of the most popular names in Kikuyu nation. So if you mention the town's name to any Kikuyu, no matter where they come from, whether in Kirinyaga, whether they're in Mombasa, or Murang'a or Kiambu, the word is very familiar to them. And this is how it came to be. So traditionally, Kikuyus believe that people from Dondori are very unique. And so it is a series of myths that have been shared from one generation to another through the word of mouth across the Kikuyu land. For instance, they believe that hotels in Dondori cooks the biggest chapatis ever. There is also another common myth that if a comrade from Dondori enters a public transport vehicle, maybe a bus or a matatu, they will shake hands with every passenger before sitting down. Mind you, they've never met them. I'll add another one. There's a belief that people from Dondori take porridge using gumboots. That's a nasty one, but of course it's a myth. So if you're having a conversation with a Kikuyu friend and they notice that you're not getting the point or you're a bit sloppy, the best word is you are not smart. That is especially in matters money, business and survival. They will automatically assume you are from Dondori. Now that how serious this myth is. Well, I don't know exactly when this myth started circulating, but it has been around for decades. Maybe the old timers can tell us when did the reign of hate started beating this beautiful small town. So if you are quite familiar with the old Kikuyu myths, you can add a few beliefs you have heard about this small town right on the comment section down below, and we'll appreciate. And if you come from the town, also tell us, when did you first hear about these myths about your beautiful town? And how does that make you feel? Does it affect your self-esteem? Especially when stating where you come from to fellow Kikuyus who come from other places. Most Bar is here. I told you it is a nice slow town. So write to us. You can also add a fact or two about your beautiful town and we'll appreciate. Well, so far so good. I'm back to the main road and the sun is setting. I'm loving it here. Although it is a bit cold, you can see everyone has a jacket or a heavy sweater. But it's a super gorgeous place. And for me, I give it a 10 out of 10. That is in terms of development, I can see electricity is in town, roads, the environment. The air is super clean, and I feel like the people have planted a lot of trees. In fact, speaking of the environment, we have one of the biggest forests in Nakuru County, right here in Dondori, that goes by the name Dondori Forest. Of course, the place has not achieved its full potential, that is, in terms of the development. You cannot compare it with big cities and towns in the region, such as Nakuru City. But compared to its past, where it is coming from, and other small towns in the region, it is evident that the small town of Dondori has made great strides as far as development is concerned. And to be sincere, a solid 10 is fair. Well, I'm sure you noted that I took the Olkalau route, and in a few minutes, we'll be hitting the beautiful town of Olkalau, which is the capital of Nyandarua County. So the entire region acts as the food basket to the country. And in particular, Dondori produce a lot of food to Nakuru City. There's a lot of fresh produce here, from milk to potatoes, cabbages, carrots, kales, peas. I'm even told that the small town is doing quite well in the export market, especially in regard to snow peas. So this is a very potential area, and as far as growing food is concerned. And that takes us straight to the real estate segment. So as usual, I checked the prices before getting here. And one thing that really surprised me is the fact that the place is a bit pricey. I saw a few pieces that were on sale. For instance, I saw a prime property measuring 19 acres that is near Dondori Forest that was going for 85 million Kenya shillings. I saw another one. This was 14 acres of land. A prime property. This one is touching this very road. 14 acres of land, and it was going for 3.6 million Kenya shillings per acre. I'm sure you're starting to get the real picture of land prices in the area. I also saw a number of commercial plots in the market. For instance, I saw 100 by 100, that is a quarter of an acre, that was on sale. It is in Dondori, Gwakiongo, and it was selling at 1.8 million Kenya shillings. It was touching the tarmac, actually. I also saw another one right in the middle of the town. A commercial plot, of course, 100 by 100, going for 4 million Kenya shillings. Well, comparing to other areas we've visited, you can see that land prices in Dondori are quite high. I don't exactly know why this is the case, but I'm guessing the new city status of Nakuru might have an effect on this one. Did I tell you that it is only 15 kilometers from Dondori Town to Nakuru City? I think I did. So the demand for land in this area has increased significantly. It is also good to know that land prices are also affected by some factors. For instance, land closer to the main road will likely to be more expensive. I think that is self-explanatory. Also, the availability of the title deeds matters a lot and affect prices in the long run. You know, in Kenya, plots with ready title deeds are generally preferred and might command higher prices. So this being one of the first few videos about Nakuru County, I want to give you some interesting facts about this beautiful county. So first, it is good to know that Nakuru County is Kenya's third most populous county, with a total population of 2.4 million people. Did you know that? Well, that is as of 2025. That is right behind Kiambu County, which has 2.7 million people, and Nairobi, which has 4.8 million people. As of 2024, the county had a population density of 321 people per square kilometer. You can see it is sparsely populated, meaning that a huge chunk of the county is rural. The county has 11 sub-counties. They include Gilgil, Kuresoi North, Kuresoi South, Molo, Naivasha, Nakuru East, Nakuru North, Nakuru West, Njoro, Rongai, and Subukia. Economically, Nakuru is one of the richest counties in the country, and I'll tell you why. Foremost, the county has the second largest economy in the country, with a GCP, that is gross county product, of 785.7 billion, meaning that only Nairobi County beat it. For instance, in 2023, the county contributed on average 6.3% to agriculture. You can see that farming is one of the biggest economic activity here. Well, 3.9% of the manufacturing activities in the country are located here in Nakuru County. Well, let me give you the poverty rate in Nakuru County. According to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, in 2022, the overall headcount poverty rate was 38.2% in Nakuru County. That means that in every 100 people you meet in Nakuru County, about 38 of them are poor. Well, this is slightly below the national poverty average, which is 39.8%. Of course, this is not a small number. It means that out of the 2.4 million people living in Nakuru, 872,000 people are poor. I hope that one is sinking. So the food poverty rate is different. That is, those people who are food poor. You know, you can be rich in other areas, but lack food. So in Nakuru, 26.5% of the total population are food poor, while the hardcore poverty rate is 3.7% of the aggregate population. According to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, most people in Nakuru spend a huge chunk of their money on food. The real numbers is that 55.3% of the total income is spent on food, while only 44.7% is spent on non-food items. So I want to share a map with you that shows the poverty rate in Nakuru County by constituency. So Nakuru Town West constituency is leading at 67.5%. That is crazy. Remember, the national average is 39.8%. It is followed by Njoro at 57.1%. Next is Molo at 36.3%. And the least is Naivasha at 12.5%. Very, very interesting data right there. Well, the median age of marriage among women as of 2022 was 21.3 years, while that of their male counterpart was 25.5 years. Well, that means that people in Nakuru are getting married when they are a bit younger, especially when compared to the national average, where ladies are getting married at 21 years and men at 25.8 years. Well, let me leave it at that and let you enjoy the rest of the video in silence. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching the video thus far, and make sure you watch the scenic video until the end. Also consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV. Like the video, share. You can also hit the notification bell so that every time we post, you'll be among the first few people to be notified. Also check out our sister channel, that is Kikuyu Traveling Media. Keep the conversation going. Tell us, what do you think about Dondori? Have you ever heard about it? Have you been here? Talk to us on the comment section down below and we'll appreciate. Thank you. Oops. I was to tell you the number of atheists in Nakuru County. Well, a staggering 67,640 do not believe in the existence of the Almighty. Well, That is not according to me. That is according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics. What a county. Good gracious.